Zach Spivey, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Thanks so much for coming on. Look,
Absolute
I
pleasure.
know a little bit about you already. I know that you're an Aveda core educator. Your work on Instagram is insane. Your haircuts are amazing. I don't know if those colors that you do that are on your page are yours, but
They are.
they are insane. And anyone that's watching this right now has to go and have a look at those colors and cuts. Your work is really, really cool. I just found out, just as we were talking, that you used to do music before you started doing hair.
Yeah.
And man, I'm excited to get this chat going. So just let me know and tell me a little bit about yourself.
So, my name's Zach. As you said, I'm 28. And I actually came into this industry later than kind of how you'd normally get into it, I guess. I was 23 when I got in the industry. So I've been in the industry for 5.5 years now. And yeah, I tried so many different things before. As you said, I was a session musician before I did this. So that was amazing. I used to get to tour and around the country with one artist in particular. I used to play for him. That was amazing. But I'm one of those people, I need a bit of routine in my life, and that didn't provide that. Growing up, my mum had a beauty salon, which had hair in it as well. And I spent a lot of time in there, and there's nothing like the buzz of a salon. And I picked up on that. But growing up down in Devon, there's not many male hairdressers around. Growing up, I just thought it was something for girls, if I'm honest with you. I didn't even think of it as a career option. And then I was kind of thinking of what else can I do? The music was kind of like, it's good, it paid well, but the inconsistency just used to do my head in. So I looked into it. First of all, I looked into barbering, actually. And my mum was like, you'd be a really good hairdresser. So I thought about it a bit. And then a new salon opened in Exeter. Huge Aveda salon, Aveda lifestyle salon. And a girl I knew from school started working there. And I thought, I'll go and get a haircut with her. And I just loved the vibe in there. There was a couple guys working there. One of who I'd actually met before on a night out or something. And it was just different to what I'd kind of seen in a salon maybe 20 years ago when I was younger. And that basically inspired me to get into the industry. So I contacted them, and luckily they kind of didn't see my age as an issue. They worked around it, and I started working there probably about a month later, and started my training. And that's where it all began, really. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made.
Nice. Well, the whole point of me bringing you on here was to show people the different types of intelligence and stuff. And obviously you did music before this, and that in itself is a crazy intelligence to be able to listen and either regurgitate or to create new pastures of music. Do you feel like there's any connection in the way you applied your intelligence to music that then moved into the way you use your body and the way you could like pick things up and learn with your hands?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. I'm first and foremost, I'm a guitarist. That's my main instrument. I never said, when you first pick up a pair of scissors, it's odd, but I didn't struggle for long. I think that kind of dexterity and that connection from your mind to your hands, I think that's there. So I was able to adapt that way for sure. And yes, I think that definitely helped.
Yeah, it's definitely such a thing that people don't realize or people take for granted, is that not everybody can learn that quickly and that well to compute things from their brain into their hands. And you look at somebody that may be playing the guitar or cutting hair and think, like I could do that. And then when you actually go to pick up a scissors and comb for the first time, and you're like, feels like you've got these alien objects in your hands. Yeah, no, I think that's really important. I'm glad
I
that
see
you.
juniors, you get one or two who are just natural and pick it up straight away, but some have to really work at it. It's like they've never seen a comb
That's
or scissors.
me. That was so me.
But it's they get there in the end. But when they're dropping stuff and everyone's different.
That was big time me, and I was one of I'm a product of that. I felt like while I was watching it, my mom's a hairdresser. I'm sitting in my mom's salon right now, and I used to watch her doing hair, and she just made it look so easy. And I was like, I could learn how to do that and make a bit of money from it. And then when I started, I was like, whoa, this is way more difficult. And I am a product of not giving hairdressers the credit that they deserve, and hence the idea for this podcast. It's been a huge learning curve, and I'm just glad that I can share it with all these people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you were talking to me before this, and you were saying that we were talking about the different types of intelligence that you have. You said that you're the type of person that has a linguistic intelligence. How do you feel like that plays into your role as a hairdresser and as an educator?
I think that's something that's had to be developed for me coming into the industry. I wouldn't say I was a particularly good communicator before I came into this industry. So that was, whereas the scissors, that side of things fell into place in terms of, consultations, communication, the, talking throughout the haircut. That was something I've definitely had to work on, but it's improved and, helped me in other areas of life outside the salon.
How did you find it hard? What was it about the linguistic kind of consultation, communication? What did you find hard about that?
I think I've just always been quite a shy person, always. And I think it was a confidence issue. I think that's what it boils down to. So it was just, for me, my thought process was, if I can deal with any client that comes into salon, anything they ask for, I know the technical side of things inside out. That's going to give me that confidence to then be able to talk to the client about what they want, manage their expectations. So I think I had to kind of get the knowledge. I know DJ Muldoon, his course is called Knowledge Destroys Fear, isn't it? And I think it's so true. That's what happened with me. Once the knowledge started to come, the confidence started to grow, and then I was able to communicate.
That's so interesting because, again, from an outsider looking in, and I know I was like this as well, I think a lot of the time people look at us as hairdressers and think we're like the most outgoing, we're all really like mega confident, and that is not always the case. And we do have people like yourself that are quite shy.
Yeah.
How, did you feel like when you were coming into the industry that being shy was going to be a problem?
Yeah, I did. I really did. And people have said it to me since. Like they've said, when you first said you were going into it, they know me, know my personality. I don't think they were sure how I was gonna quite do that because of their perception of what hairdressers are like. So they've shared that with me since, having grown and been able to achieve it. So yeah, I did think it was going to be a problem for sure.
It's definitely an intelligence that does need to be worked on, and like any other skill, like cutting hair, playing the guitar, communicating and being able to express how you feel to a client and being able to listen to them is a huge part of it, and a skill that does need to be worked on. How do you feel?
Sorry, carry on.
How do you feel as a shy person? And like, again, I'm making an assumption here that you come across a little bit of an introvert. Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely.
So how did you find in going into this like hugely extroverted community, going in and dealing with all these new people and meeting people every day? How did you get over that?
in terms of kind of meeting team members and things like that, that wasn't so much of a problem for me. I'd been in the music industry before that. You're constantly working with people, so I think it was more the clients coming in, the guests coming in, that was going to be a potential hurdle for me, I think. Also, I was super lucky. I'd not previously known a salon like this one that I came into and I'm still with, in terms of the culture and the team and the friendliness. It was, I think, Amanda, who owns the salon, I think that was a really strong foundation she built, and it showed. So it was quite easy. There was no kind of negativity or anything like that. That wasn't a problem at all.
Brilliant. And are you still working with the salon that you trained with?
I am, yeah. So 5.5 years. Yeah, I've kind of just worked my way up there. Yeah. So I got a dog squeaking a toy in the background.
That's okay. That's okay. So you trained in an Aveda salon, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yeah.
How did you go from working in a salon to being an educator? And do you do both at the same time? Do you work behind the chair and educate now?
Yeah, the education, there's quite a few educators. I think there's about 10 of us who teach the core cutting in the UK. So it gets shared out. And so I'm not doing that too often. So, if I do get a date to go up to London and do that, or wherever it might be, then I just get blocked out in the salon for a day or two, and that's how it works. So I'm mainly behind the chair. That's, and I love that. I also try and do as many shoots as I can. But yeah, so that's my main thing, behind the chair. I'm going to get off. Bear me 1 second. He goes crazy if no one's giving him attention.
I have a little Maltese as well, and he is so attention seeking. He loves he has to be sitting on your lap. And when I try and go on the laptop and I'm doing any editing, he'll sit across the top of my laptop.
It's great until you've got stuff to do, isn't it?
Yeah, they're great company. I can't complain. Is he sitting underneath you now?
Here, mate.
Oh, he's so cute. What kind of dog is he?
He's a cockapoo.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
He's a good boy. He's just, he's full of it. Loves attention.
Okay, so back to it.
Yeah.
You were talking about educating and stuff with Aveda.
Yes.
Is there any plans in the future to move into more educating, or what are the plans for the future? Do you see yourself doing more educating, opening a salon, anything in particular?
I wouldn't want to open my own salon. I think I've known that from day one, really. It's the stress of it. I think I've seen people, the most incredible hairdressers, open a salon and they barely cut hair anymore. I know that's not always the case, but I think the numbers take over, the creativity can get compromised, and I don't want to do that. In terms of the education side of things, I'd love to develop that more. I love that, because I learn so much from teaching a class every time, even if it's the same class. I think you kind of you take stuff from within you didn't even know was there. So I teach in the salon at the moment. There's a group of 4 of us who teach the juniors, 2 for cutting, 2 for colour. I'm on the cutting team. So we do that every week. Amanda, who owns the salon, she has another salon in Totnes. The plans were before lockdown that I was going to be going down there once or twice a month to teach as well. And then there's the Aveda stuff as well. With this, with everything that's going on at the moment, I don't know what that's going to be like when we come out the other side of this. I don't think anyone does right now. But the education side of things, definitely something I'd I'd love to explore more and develop more.
On a personal level, right? Not anything to do with your ability to cut hair or anything. On a personal level, how do you feel educating for Aveda and the salon affects you as a person?
It grows your confidence. It's definitely growing my confidence. And like I said, you cannot afford to drop your game, if that makes sense. You've got to, because people are going to ask you questions. If you don't know the answer, it doesn't look good. So it forces me to keep pushing myself, and that's the main thing I get out of it on a personal level, I think.
Is the pushing yourself and getting to new heights?
Yeah.
In what sense?
For me, mainly from a technical level, I would like to develop my kind of presentation skills and that kind of thing. I don't think they're bad, but I'd really like to develop them. When I go on courses, see some of the top educators, I try and look at what they're doing and things like that. So it's just developing all these skills but at the moment it's really focusing on from a technical level, just trying to, know exactly what they're going to ask.
Okay. And are you doing anything at home at the moment to prepare for that and going back to whatever it is that we're going back to?
Yeah, I've got I've got this table over there, and it's got like chairs with where you can store stuff in, and they're just full of blockheads. So if anyone looked in there, it looked really odd. So I work on them. I've done my girlfriend's hair a couple of times. Cut the dog's hair. I'm always watching, YouTube videos. I think Aveda have put out some really good free education with Ricardo, doing some cutting stuff, and Ian Michael Black and some colour. So I've been tuning into them and just trying to keep up with what's going on.
Have you ever read Horace? I can never pronounce his second name. I'm not even going to try. Have you read his book?
I haven't,
Have you not? That is definitely something that you have to read. His idealisms behind why he created the brand, why he wanted everybody to go more natural, the way the products that he was using affected him, and his whole journey from creating his brand to the day he died. And it was it was an emotional journey reading the book. It was crazy. I'd highly recommend watching it.
He was way ahead of his time, because his kind of ideals are being are quite fashionable now. The kind of whole vegan thing, cruelty free, which is amazing. It's what I love about the brand. But he was doing that in the 70s.
He was he used to, I don't know if you've ever heard this, he used to eat his products on stage.
Yeah, I've heard this.
Like, crazy. I'm sitting here looking at a bottle of rosemary mint thinking there is no way that I would try and swallow that now. But yeah, like, he was way ahead of his time, and he really, I don't think he ever realized that he would, but really carved the way, and we're 50 years ahead now. And it's really only coming into like mainstream knowledge, not so much fashion. Fashion kind of got there a little bit first, but I think now that it's starting to settle in and people are starting to realize that global warming is an issue and we need to watch our carbon footprint. He carved the way, definitely in the hair industry, for everybody, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's unless you're part of Aveda, he's probably quite like an underrated name in the industry. I don't think many people would know him outside of Aveda, but such an influential character.
I totally agree. And I really feel like a lot of people do need to know him and what he's done, because there are these new brands. I'm not going to mention any brands. I don't want to upset anybody, but are like now on this train, and all these new age hairdressers. I'm one of them. I'm a new age hairdresser. I'm not trying to like disband myself from being new in the industry, but a lot of people have seen these new brands taken off and they're like, oh my God, wow, they're doing these crazy good things for hair and for the environment. And you're like, dude, Horst had this absolutely nailed down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, the last thing that I want to ask you is, Zach, is obviously all of this stuff is a little bit intense at the moment. What are you doing just for like fun?
I've been working, to be honest with you. I have been nothing to do with hair. I decided to, I kind of, a week before lockdown, we heard it was going to happen, more or less guarantee it. So I actually signed up with an academy to learn to trade the financial markets. So different to hair. So I have been spending every waking hour doing that, and it's starting to pay off. So that's going to be something I can do alongside the hair, which is just an investment for the future, really.
And how did you go about doing that?
I through someone at work, actually. I found someone on Instagram who was doing really well with it. It's a 23-year-old girl. She was absolutely smashing it. She does it full time. I just contacted her, and she said, "This is where I learned. Love to get you involved with a team of people who help you." And so I did that. So I knew I had to do something in lockdown, like focus on something. Like I can't just sit around. And to be honest with you, I felt like it would be quite nice or quite good for me to have a bit of a break from the hair. 5.5 years, it has been my life. And I'm talking, when I do something, I get obsessed with it. So it was going to work, coming home, getting on any education. I mean, I paid for Gianni's education, Ben Brown's, all these guys, watching that, practicing on blockheads. So I wouldn't say the fire was burning out. I love my job, but I feel like I needed a break. And then, absence makes the heart grow fonder, as they say. And I'll be refreshed, ready to go back. So I didn't want to spend all of lockdown just doing hair, to be honest with you, or just practicing hair. I needed that distance. And I think it's going to be really good for me.
Definitely. And I think that's a good lesson for a lot of people, is that this has been the world or the universe, or whatever way you want to look at it. It's been the world's way of showing us that maybe some of those things that we're doing don't need to be at such an extreme. Maybe some of the things that we're doing can just be totally left behind. I'm not saying we should leave hair behind. I will never do that. But there's definitely parts of my life that I was like, whoa, I really didn't need to be doing.
100%.
You know what I mean? And that's a really important lesson. And I'm glad that you've learned that. And I'm really glad for you that you picked up this trading thing. And that's definitely, when we're finished this call, I'd like to talk to you about it and hear a little bit more.
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's been good for me. And it's nice to have, I mean, you don't get into hairdressing for the money, do you? You get into it because you love it. So for me, it's just going to be nice to have something that I can kind of build alongside it, and then just really enjoy the hair. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
Like, brilliant. I really hope that when people hear this, that it might inspire them to do the same, because you don't get into it for the money. And it would definitely make it a lot easier to enjoy it if there was an extra bit of cash there. So thank you for sharing that.
Fortunately, there's only so many hours in a day. There's only so much you can charge. So what can you do? But we love it. So we do it.
Zach, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for this chat. I will definitely be in touch about what we have just been talking about right there. I will share your Instagram and just let people know about the other stuff. I'm going to post some stuff on the stories, promote your page, and I'm just really thankful that you did this. Thank you very much for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
I really appreciate what you're doing. It's great.
Thank you so much. And like I said, I'll send you over some little bits of our chat, and you can do what you want with them on the Instagram. Thanks for the support, and go bring your dog on a walk.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. Have a good day. Peace out.
Thank you.